What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiss Capades podcast, and today I have a very special guest and good friend of mine. I'll just let him introduce himself first of all before I just give you more details and everything. Just introduce yourself and then tell people what you do, maybe just briefly.
I'm Sannie Sanford, food photographer based in Florida.
Food photographer. I see that's something that's very new in the industry.
Yeah.
And first of all, do you want us to do the podcast in English or Swahili?
Any.
Pana, here's the thing. I'll tell you about, if we do it in Swahili, you know what that means. It means I'll have to go and put subtitles on my YouTube.
Sawa.
And nobody's doing that bullshit.
English.
I don't have time for that.
In short, you're saying we do it in English.
Yes, let's do it in English.
Fine.
Because we are like, I have a wide audience, and let's just say that we can always go back to Swahili. We can bounce on off kidogo. Because I know people will be asking like, why did you guys start talking in Nini and now, I don't understand. Can you translate it for me?
Yeah, subtitles.
So subtitles I can't. Yeah, yes, I can. Impossible. So we'll just do it in English. So Sannie San is, can I say like now an established like food photographer in the city?
Yes.
And you're comfortable doing it like as your job, like you're comfortable doing or making a living with it.
Totally.
That's very it's not new. You don't think it's something that's new in the industry?
No, before I got to food photography, there were people already doing it. And that was...
But for magazines or just like, like the way now you can do it like freelance and actually get calls from
for
clients?
magazines. Back in 2012, 2013, 2014, I know of a friend who was
food photographer already by then?
Food photographer, yes.
In Kenya?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with this. Before we just start on details on what you do for a living, what was like your dream job when you're growing up? Or maybe your parents were like, expecting, Sannie San. We can see Sannie San being like a teacher, a math professor,
scientist,
pilot, a lawyer, or a news anchor. Like what did you want to do when you're growing up before like your mind switched to whatever like right now you're currently doing? Because I'm sure like any other artist or photographer, there's always a story of like, I did this job. But what did you want to do when you're growing up?
Growing up, at first, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Lawyer?
Yes. Because my dad was a lawyer. And growing up, I used to look at
what he's doing,
how he runs his business. And I was like, and to be that.
Because he's your mentor, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wake up, see him prepare,
what he's doing.
You see him prepare to go to court, comes back, see him travel. He gets to travel because of his career, and I was like, yes,
this is something.
I want a career that makes me look sharp in tie, coat, drive a fancy car.
I know what you're talking about.
So, at first, I shattered. Everything was off. My eyes was on being a lawyer.
Lawyer. And is that what like your parents also wanted you to do, or did they have like a different? Like how parents normally like just plan the future for you. Like, okay, so I won't be a lawyer, but we've planned. We think this can be good for you.
The most interesting thing was my parents never pushed me to a certain career. They were just like, get the education. With a good education,
can figure
it drives you to a particular
career path.
Yeah, based on your interests. So with that, with growing up, things change. You start noticing small details. You start
interest in
interest
some things.
in some things and
Mm.
picking interest in some things.
Mm-hmm.
So then, growing up, our grandparents had cameras. Our
Mm.
fathers had cameras.
Mhm.
Iliku-
Mine didn't. My grandparents didn't have cameras.
never used to be taken to
My
the
grandparents?
studios.
No, in Western, I don't think we had like a lot of those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it used to be like the rich families now had cameras though.
but there were studios in
But
every.
the studios were
yeah.
there. The studios were there. So now that's when like going to Shags and in December.
Yeah.
That's when like I know people used to go and take like Christmas pictures and
Yeah.
stuff. But it just used to look like so far-fetched. And like, maze owning before you ever own a camera, nini. Just seems it was just a dream, yani.
Yeah.
And it were those things like you can't even touch if your parent had them.
Yes,
How do you touch your
I-
parents' camera?
I remember when my dad.
Did your dad have a camera?
Yeah, my dad had a camera,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to take photos of us, but we were not allowed to touch it.
Never, ever.
You
Okay,
look-
never.
It was his property, not the family's. The photo was
Uh-huh.
the family's property,
Mhm.
but the camera was his property.
His property. You don't touch it.
Exactly.
Mm. So now, it's just very strange how, like, when you're growing up, you always have this dream, and then over the years, like, it just keeps changing, like, slowly. When it comes to, like, your career now, before you settled to photography, like, what other, like, funny jobs did you, like, have to do to make ends meet before you decided, okay? Because, once you start doing something like photography, it's those ones of, like, listen, once you get to that zone where you're like, it doesn't matter if I'm making money today or
Yeah.
tomorrow, this is what I'm choosing to do. And, like, there's no turning back to this until it works out.
Yeah.
So which other jobs did you ever, like, do before you settled to photography?
Funny thing is that when I knew the minute I got to high school,
Yeah.
I automatically knew one day I would land in the photography world.
Serious?
I knew.
Like, you've never had another job, like, apart from photography?
Listen,
Okay.
I knew
yeah.
I would have done so many things, but I'll still come back to photography.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, high school, that end goal is still there.
Mm-hmm.
In uni,
Mm-hmm.
it was still there. Then, boom,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Instagram. Because now at least you have a phone,
Yeah.
a platform where you can share your pictures.
So, the first night Instagram was released to the world,
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded Instagram.
The first night.
The first night. I remember owning an iPhone,
Uh-huh.
and I was already immersed on the internet world.
So you're just up to date with what's happening.
Exactly. So I was like, new social
Social media platform.
boom, downloaded it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was going to do with it,
Mhm.
so just downloaded it and just had the app there. Then later on, I deleted the app.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was so curious to try out the marketing world.
Mm.
So I did marketing for a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm going to merge three things:
Mm-hmm.
food, marketing, and photography.
And photography. Mm-hmm.
And then uni started staying
Wait,
away.
what did you study in uni?
Marketing.
Oh, marketing. Okay, so that makes sense. At least because you're putting, at least you're passionate about something, and then now you add like to marketing
Exactly.
skills. It's a plus.
And that's the one thing I got from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you have education, try and always try it to your interest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that way you don't go astray so much. Yes, you
And
lose
at
the
least
interest.
you can enjoy something
yes,
that you're.
do something that you love.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So started, you have to eat every day.
Of course,
You-
you have
I
to
had
pay.
to.
You have to pay bills.
I had to cook food every day. So I started cooking, taking photos with my phone, posting.
So you actually enjoy cooking.
Yes, I do.
People don't tell you like, Mazai cooking is for women. Nini.
I grew up in
People
a
don't make fun of you.
what?
Yeah, I'm asking. Like not now, because now
Yeah.
it's like a profession. You see, like
Yeah.
now there's everything has changed. But I'm saying, when you're trying out kwanza something,
Yeah.
now like maybe your friends are like, maze Sannie anapenda kupika pika, maze hii mambo ya wanawake. It's just Sannie San likes hanging out in the kitchen so much.
I feel
People
like,
never made fun of you,
no, because I feel like,
and you don't have good friends, Basi. Good friends always make fun of you, Basi.
listen,
Yeah.
I grew up in
Uh-huh.
a soily setup. First of all,
Oh, okay.
shout out to my grandma and my grandpa and my mom and my uncles,
Yeah.
because I was raised up in Mombasa where food has to be cooked
Yeah.
well and people have to enjoy the food. So when my grandma used to cook, all of us used to sit in the kitchen and help out, passing them the mwiko, helping out to the cleaning, helping out to the serving of food, and that's when
So that's something that's just always been
yeah,
happening
that's
around
something that has been around me.
you.
The women in my life, and by women I mean
It's okay. You don't
grandma.
need to explain. No. It's okay. It can't be misinterpreted, not
Yeah.
unless. But I understand why you have to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your grandma,
My
mother.
mom, my aunties,
Cousins.
yeah, all love cooking. So it was something that it was
Yeah, it
like
was
a
just-
torch being
okay.
passed
Oh,
down.
okay. Yeah. Now that I understand.
So I started posting photos.
Mhm.
Then I remember reading about Mutua Madeka on the newspaper.
Oh yeah.
How he was doing this cityscape photos and he was using Instagram as his platform. I was like, wait, so I'm using Instagram the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I quickly installed my app again and
Mhm.
logged in
Mhm.
and followed Mutua.
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember him posting how he's doing this 365 thing where you have to post one photo daily or something. Every day you have to
It's
take
like
a-
a challenge.
It's like a challenge. Then somewhere along the line, he was like, I'm doing this meetup. You can come, take photos, we interact. And that's when I knew, okay, I'm slowly getting into this photography scope, this world.
So can you say like Mutua Madeka actually did inspire you
Yes,
to?
yes. So I attended the first
Say Mutua Madeka.
Mutua.
Good job.
Asante sana. Then
Uh-huh.
I attended my first Insta meet. I met, let me say this first. The interwebs, you can meet strangers who turn out to be family.
Yeah, because I mean they'll just change. They come to you with, like, you meet up with the same common interest and goals.
Yes. So I attended my first Insta meet. I didn't say hi to Mutua because I was like, wow, this is Mutua. This is what he does. And he's this down to earth.
Yeah.
And I met so many interesting people who from there we exchanged
Tua is very
contacts.
chill, Diani. That's the thing. Once you start talking to him, you're like, wow, by the way, I wish I started talking to this guy earlier.
Earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
So I met people, we exchanged contacts, we started talking, we started engaging in photography talks, and That's how everything changed.
Everything changed.
Some of my close friends,
Mm-hmm.
most of my close friends, I met them on Instagram.
So what happened to the other friends now?
Still talk.
But you don't spend a lot of time with them.
I do.
Or you still do?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The people I consider friends, I make it an habit to.
Move that slightly closer to the frame.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I make an habit of keeping in touch.
Yeah.
We're humans. We need to.
Yeah.
Hey, Nyaje John Kopoa. Like I make an effort of
at least to check up on them. Mm-hmm.
But when you share an interest with someone, it's a
different
level.
It's different.
It's like
different.
Somehow dating them.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but
there's a bond.
Listen to whatever you're talking about. It's okay, sawa.
Yeah, no.
If people misinterpret it, you're the one who said it.
No,
but I get what you're saying.
There's a special bond.
Yeah, because it's very different. Because everything like you start talking about, it's like you connect to it. We're connecting.
We already have this one photography bond, and we're already cool.
Yeah,
people.
already. Yeah.
So it's like two worlds meeting, and it makes everything so much easy. Easy. Communication becomes easy. It's just
different.
Fun.
Yeah.
Being around these people. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Just to know, first of all, that Pia Mutua like actually inspired you to do your photography. So that's, and you see. The one thing about them, like when we start talking about humility, it was like my first male guest, I guess. Was he? I think so. Yeah, it was Mutua. Mutua was the first male guest. Like I just asked him out of the blues, like from December, like, yo, do you think you can do this and this? He told me by the whole of December I'm fully booked. But in January, just give me a call like this and we do it. January came. Mutua was there.
Let me tell you, Mutua is a good...
And he's coming from like Embakasi and everything. He doesn't need to do that for me.
Mutua is a good... he's an excellent photographer.
Yeah.
But Mutua is also a good storyteller and is a good teacher. My first days, I used to ask him every day on Instagram DM, so how do I set my picture?
Plus he always responds to all messages.
Yeah,
Mutua Madeka, he's a special one. We need more of those people. And speaking about that, he was one of your mentors, but just before you bumped into his nini, could you say like there are other people like you are looking up to before you just got like in a professional lane when it comes to photography? Are there some other people like you used to look up to, like, hey, this guy has nice photography, he has nice skills, I'd one day want to be as good as them?
First time that crossed my mind was first of all, my granddad, both my granddads from my mom and from my dad's side were really interesting characters. Apart from them having 8 to 5 jobs, they had life after that.
Yeah, it's not that you just work.
Back then they used to go to work 8 to 5, come back, spend time with the family, then do their thing. I remember the first time I bumped into a photo of my granddad, who was a football referee. And I remember feeling the image and was like, this is interesting. How did this happen? Then I started seeing him with cameras.
But of course you still can't touch them, eh?
I still can't touch them. But it was like, how he does this.
Yeah.
Mpaka inakuja inakuwa
a
print.
An actual print.
Blew my mind. So every time we used to go to a photo studio with the family to take those group photos. Nilikuwa so curious to go and check like so so this is the camera, so how are the prints done? So I was being taken to a dark room and nature also this is the dark room.
So photography has always been in.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, dark room, and then
shown the chemicals, like you just told snippets, like so this is where the photos are developed to a print, and those were my mentors. The photo guys back then, the studio photographers back then, our grandpas, our dads, those are my mentors. And somehow Steven Spielberg, because all movies back then were all Steven Spielberg. So it's like, so this guy is like a photographer of videos and movies. So when internet happened, that's when I started learning about the
now other new, like, because like on Instagram you can dig into now different categories
and start
seeing new people,
start immersing yourself in the world of photography and reading about these pioneers and photographers, apart from the ones who came after the Spielbergs. You get to come across so many names that did amazing work in the photography world.
What about now, like in the current like climate now? Because we've talked about like the past a lot, like just how your history. So you see, me, I didn't even know. You know, me, I thought maybe you're just one of those people who see people shooting on Instagram, then you're like,
hata pia mimi can do it.
Hata mimi nataka kuwa photographer. Hata mimi nanunua camera. Mnanunua, hata mimi nanunua basi. So you see, that's actually very interesting, and now everything just makes sense because it's something that's been running, like even just through the family growing up. Like if you started like even going to the dark room and everything, by the way, that means like you started very early. And you understand like even just like the small basics, and now you even appreciate photography in a very different way.
Exactly. Like
you don't know whether you've noticed like Mtua has now even started like shooting film again.
Like it's one thing to like photography. It's one thing to love photography. It's one thing to be passionate about photography. And you have all these three things in one. You have no reason not to be an excellent photographer.
Is there a time you've actually had like self-doubts, like, hey, this, you know, at times these clients can make you start doubting like this if this is the right career path for you?
Yes. I feel like it's totally okay and normal for us, one, as humans and as creatives, to have self-doubt in our work. Sometimes you're like,
am I good enough at what I do?
And one day you wake up, you read, and you're like, fuck, my work is good.
It's good.
My work is good.
Yeah. And nobody can convince you otherwise.
So long as you love your work,
that's the most important.
And you're passionate about your work, you mask out everything.
Yeah, because I mean, at times just dealing with clients, they can be like a headache. I know that. Okay, so since we've started mentioning like clients, and you know what you do, like for food photography, I can say like new age clients would understand that because it's all about cataloging and stuff. But have you had instances where like you have like a client and then they're telling you like, I just taking pictures of food, you want to charge me this much?
Yeah. I used to get that a lot in late 2017 early 2018 because restaurants and some of these establishments never saw the need of a food photographer. And they thought that a food photography is just taking photos of the food. They don't know food photography is a food photographer and a food stylist.
Yeah.
You either have to be both,
Yeah.
or there have to be two people, a food photographer and a food stylist.
And a stylist now. Do you do both?
Uh,
Or do you have a stylist that you work with?
right now, I'm immersing myself in the food styling.
Or more as
I'm
well, so that you
trying
can
to
actually just
do both,
Mm.
and to be a master of actually both,
Mm-hmm.
because they marry each other.
Because for you to take pictures of the food, because at times even for me, and I normally try, even when I started doing food reviews and stuff, I realized like this is not like I'm not like a foodie, but I love content creation. But the best thing about food is like anytime you're having like a meal, if it's on the table or with friends and stuff, you always have conversations.
Yes.
So I figured like that's just my thing. And even besides me being able to do like nice cinematography, somebody walking, slow-mos of biting food, that I can do in a very nice way. But I was like, it needs something else.
Yeah. A food,
Mm-hmm.
when the styling
Mm-hmm.
is missing,
Mm-hmm.
there's something that food photography misses.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks more of like a studio shoot where umekatua hapo and you just shoot it. But with the styling, you know how to work around
Everything.
props and you just make food. Food is art.
Yeah.
But when you style it, it blows your mind. You look at the food and you're like, fuck, I want to eat that.
I want to eat that.
Actually, I can look at that the whole day.
Like, other people don't understand this. When they see your pictures, they'll be like, Tisa, now food needs a stylist as well. That's what I'm saying. All these things, even like for me, it's because I focus like on my cinematography so much. Even though I know there are other kinds of photographies, I don't like put into consideration like, because even when it comes to food, when somebody sees your pictures, they'll notice by there's just something different about how this guy takes pictures of food. And no matter how much I try with my phone at even if I'm putting a reflector on it, it won't be the same.
Yes.
It won't be the same, but it's because you've studied like all these. Maybe there's angles, there's, when it comes to you working with a stylist or whether it's just you, they're like some, I don't know what they're called, that you apply on food to make it look much more fresher.
There's also like, there's a science. It depends on how you look at food.
Yeah.
Food is the most interesting subject I have come across, because the warmer it is, the more bright it is. The colder it is, the more dull it is. When well cooked, it looks good. When cooked with passion and love, this.
How do you cook with passion and love?
What do you mean? What do you mean cook with passion?
I
and
don't
love?
cook, Sannie. I just told you I don't cook.
Let me tell you. You want to know love? Look at how chefs cook the food. When it's presented, you look at the food and you're like,
wow. The food is brought to you on the table.
You're like, you feel like, I want to stare at this food for like 2-3 hours. It's like,
you don't want to spoil even the presentation. You don't.
Like,
you're not sure whether you should eat or just leave it like that.
It's like seeing something beautiful that you don't want to ruin it. You want to stare at it.
And now you see, when we're talking about all these things, that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to like your clients, do you at times get difficulty with some clients who don't understand that? And it's not just about just food. It's about the way you're talking food, well prepped, cooked well with love and care, presenting, styling the food, and then now taking the pictures, good lighting and whatever you do. Do all the clients understand that? Sam, you have to be like, hey, you guys, you need to understand, it's not just...
By the time a client reaches out,
they
notice there's something missing with their food catalog. When they reach out, there's, how should I put it? they notice there's a touch they don't have with food
Yeah.
that I do have.
Mm.
And it's easier working with such a client because they give you the creative control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now with the clients who don't know, you have to tell them, like, hey, this is a subject that doesn't move,
Mm.
but also this is a subject that needs attention,
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be sold the way a model is styled, makeup, all that. The same applies with food. So you pass down the knowledge to them, and they see the need for that.
So now when it comes to like just your career path, because like for me, I'm also very interested in food photography because I always have food in front of me in all my videos and stuff. So any little like tip I can pick to make it look better or entice people more when I'm just having my conversation, even if it's just a podcast and everything, makes a big difference to me.
Yes.
So what would you say, like, because we're talking about all these like really, really positive and nice things, but what are like some of the hardships you'd say like a food photographer will go through before like they find a nice sweet spot where they're like, okay, so because even I'm sure even for you at times you reject some other clients, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are like just some of the two difficulties that you think a food photographer would come across? Let's just say probably in Kenya. Anybody who's thinking of, like, anybody who looks at your food and then they're like, may want to be like a food photographer. I see a lot of like what he's doing and everything, and I'd like to pick up on his skill and even me do that as a profession. Like, but what are some of the two difficulties that they will run through before they get to that place? Or what hardships did you go through?
What hardships did I go through?
Yeah. Ama you, it's just been like sweet and everything.
No.
Hey, me,
No,
it hasn't
no.
been. So me,
So when I was starting out with food photography, there were restaurants or establishments never saw the need of food photography at all. They had their stock images where they buy the images from like Shutterstock.
Shutterstock.
And just use the images.
Yeah.
So
Sweetener and a bowl of fruits. Yeah. So we're talking about, like, you can't have forgotten like after 1 minute what we were talking about.
You distracted me.
I'm so sorry.
I get
I was
distracted.
asking for sweetener and Nini. I'm sorry.
So easy.
Yeah. So the difficulties that you've run through, like just as a food photographer, my list is endless. Like just for videography and stuff.
It's more of,
do your clients pay on time? Do they respect your work? Do they?
Right now, they do. My clients respect my time. They pay on time.
Do you eat fruits?
Yes, I do.
So I've just asked him to bring like.
Okay.
So two bowls, fruits. Yeah.
My clients pay on time.
Yeah.
I've learned that when food photography is a product, how you package it and how you present it to a client matters a lot.
Yeah.
You can't walk up, you can't ask for a meeting, go for a meeting late.
But Sannie, I want the hardships. I'm still not hearing the hardships. I still don't see any difficulties that you have, like a food. Yeah.
It's because
tell me.
It's because social media has made us only highlight our highs and not our lows.
That's why I'm asking, where are the lows?
Our lows are sometimes some
Tell
of
me.
these restaurants go and tell them, I had this idea, or I had this idea, I want to try out with you guys, and then straight up tell you, no.
Mm-hmm.
I already have traffic in my restaurant. You want to disrupt my traffic to
Take pictures of food.
take pictures of food, and I pay you? No way. There's that. There's
What about pay? Do you have
there's also
do you pay photographers? Pay photographers.
There's
KE hashtag, will that come up?
there's also pay. Some clients never see food photography as a career that needs money
Yeah, yeah.
or worth paying X amount of money.
Yeah.
They're just like, sina picha ya chakula tu. You just come with your camera and just snap through. And they'll tell you, so you're just taking photos of the food. So I can charge you. I can pay you 10K or 15K or 20K. They don't understand, you have to get props. You have to buy props. You have to pay for my time. You have to pay for my craft. Because there's also the post-production part of it.
Yeah. So you'd actually charge, let me just throw a number. I don't want to go to the accurate. Do you charge more than, like, let's say 30,000 for food photography?
Yes.
More than 50,000?
Yes.
Okay, so let's stop at there, Kwanza, so that we don't discourage other people in other fields. But I'm just saying, you see, now once you start understanding like all those two things and you get a client who understands this,
it makes working easier.
It makes working easier
and
you
fun
can,
too.
And fun, plus you can even reject some other clients. Like, and if you don't understand me, at least I know this person appreciates what I do.
One thing, working with a client. And there's another thing of working with a client that you enjoy the product.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go and shoot at a restaurant that I've never tried out.
And you don't even like their food. Let's start with that, Kwanza. Or
Maybe
you've had their food and it wasn't good.
First of all, I don't have to paint a false narrative online.
To anybody who wants to come.
If I don't like a restaurant food, I will not even go there. I don't want to go there, eat the food, and then come back online and be like, this restaurant, the food is so shit. No. If I don't like something, let me watch from a distance.
I don't want to be involved
and if I like the food, that's a plus one. I can always tell your client, hey, I've been to your restaurant so many times. I love this. I love this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I like your lighting. I like your interior. I think I can do X, Y, Z.
Okay. Have you had at cafe breakfast?
I've never tried at cafe. I did. I tried once, and that was like back then when I was now getting to try out restaurants. And oh my God, I was still in uni. I didn't have like a job, so I paid. I'd gone on a date actually. I paid so much money, and the food was like, chakula ni kidogo sana. I never want to come back here again.
I know that. Okay, so we'll have the breakfast today.
Yeah.
We'll have the breakfast today. The breakfast is on me, and then you let me know. You let me know what you think of the breakfast. So,
shall I also give a review about how I usually?
About how I
found my experience at that cafe?
Yeah. You'll just say if you actually like for today after this, we'll have like a full like breakfast proper, and then you just talk about your experience and how you like the food. So you get to choose anything.
So if I don't like the food and I say I don't like the food,
nobody. Hey, listen. That's why there's a podcast, and podcast is so important. Like your experience and review is so important, not just to me, but even to them.
It's interesting because I won't mention this restaurant name, but actually I tried the food and I didn't like, and I said I didn't like online, and they actually emailed me and told me to never step foot in the restaurant.
You're lying. A restaurant told you that? Never to set your foot.
Never to try out. And I was like, okay.
But you can't tell somebody that. Okay, so those are the things that I'm talking about actually. Like, okay, so you go somewhere. This is very interesting. You went somewhere, you tried their food, and you posted the review, right?
Yeah.
And then they sent you an email and told you not to set foot in that restaurant again.
They banned me in a polite way.
No, but here's the thing. I would like somebody to try that with me. I would really. I'm desperate for somebody to try that
And
with
it
me.
was
'cause
actually last year, not even.
you see, that's just crazy. Not if you have like a marketing team that can respond that way to anyone who has an online platform. I think you really have to do like proper HR for your company because you don't know what you're doing. That's the worst way you can approach something. What they would have done is call you like, okay, what didn't you like about the food? Sour. Can we try and present it again to you and see if you're going to like it? If you don't, fair enough. And that's what I'm saying, like even for what we're going to have today, just give your honest opinion.
Because apart from me being a food photographer, I'm also curious to try out different places, different food.
Plus, like you've said, you've grown up with like cooking Swahili dishes and all these things and stuff. So you have a good tongue for like a good palate for like proper food.
Yes.
So your opinion is valid as well. Come on, like now that's just disappointing to hear first of all. But I've done like a few negative reviews, but like the thing was like by the time I was going to post and complain, like all the other comments were just the same thing.
This is what happens in Nairobi restaurants.
Tell me.
You try out, maybe the service or something wasn't good. Hop on online, mention it. They reach out. They're like, "Hi, sorry, did you like this? Do you mind if we throw in a free food for you
to say something nice?"
To say something nice or to us saying sorry for that. Try it out and now give a different opinion. First of all, when I try out a restaurant as Sannie Sanford, I want it to be as normal as possible. I want it to be like, come on, the passers-by. When they tell restaurant, whatever service they get, and the same service. Okay. Don't give me this amazing service so that I can go online and say, oh, I got this. Then when someone goes and they get a different service, it's something.
And I'll tell you why I also do like reviews with like women at times, most of the time, because they don't lie about food.
Yeah, women.
So I'll just go with someone, we set up and everything, we sit down there, and then we just start eating. And then my camera will be rolling. Like, okay, this food is good, this is good, this is good. If they don't like something, immediately, like back at times I'm always like, hey, I'm always just trying to look at the waiter like, okay, I hope this food is good.
Let me tell you, it's good to try at a restaurant, a lady, because when the waiter takes time, they can tell you like, hey, that waiter is taking, like the service, they're taking time to serve us. They're taking time to bring the food. The food is cold. The food is too hot. The food is in 12 season.
This is not enough. Whatever cheese is not enough.
And women are like, they eat their food and they eat your food. So it's a 2-in-1
so
for them.
So it's like even for you, they'll be like, they haven't put enough nini. So they'll always be like,
oh, their portions are too little.
They'll always give that opinion. And for me, that's so important. And that's what I'm saying, like, if you're good, like, if like somebody's doing like a review for your restaurant and your marketing team decides to send them a message and tell them like, like you're banned from this establishment or this. And I think, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because, I think for you it's because you do like more of pictorial reviews. And it's more on the writing side. But for me, if you do that for me and I'm doing videos, like you're done. Because now all I need to do is like just open your email, record it, and show you like actually how your staff is behaving. Because first of all, me, I won't even take it lightly.
Yeah.
I'd actually come to the establishment and actually ask who sent this email. I need to see them. Now, it's not about fighting, but I need you to address that to me. Like, let's just talk. Like, just say what you're saying in the email so that you understand why your food is bad and why you need to change it, so that you don't give people like food poisoning or something. It's just an honest review. And when somebody's telling you that, it's not like they want your business to be bad. They're saying that so that you can improve on something.
Yes,
It can
yes.
even be just like maybe one staff member who messed on something small. You just never
And
know.
I think that's
Just
I'm
criticism,
not
taking criticism.
I'm not an hospitality
Yeah.
expert, but the small things matter.
Yeah.
In restaurants, in establishments, in giving people food, the small things matter.
They
Is
do
the plate
matter.
clean? Are the
Yeah.
forks clean?
Yeah.
Put food portions balanced. Is the food well cooked?
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, we're looking forward to more.
Another challenge I went through,
Yeah.
being sick, stomach upsets, food poisoning, H. pylori. Normal.
You've gotten a lot of
for
those.
the last 4 years. Oh my god. Get sick. Then I don't get sick from malaria as often. Though I get sick from like stomach cancer, food poisoning, pylori. I think that's why I don't
So
go
is it from like, maybe it's because of foods that your stomach is not used to, or it's just for you experimenting and then maybe the food just wasn't good?
I think let's say the food wasn't good,
Yeah.
and also it's me introducing something new
To your like system, to just
Yeah,
body.
exactly. But if I try something new for the first time
Yeah.
and I get sick, when I get better, I try it again, so that I have
You just confirm that
Yeah,
it's
like,
not like your
see
body.
me. It's the food.
It's
that's
the food
served-
that's
being served at a restaurant X that isn't good. Yeah.
No, we can just say the name of the restaurant, eh?
Nah, let's. You never know.
You never know, they might be cutting you a good check next
Yeah.
time. Okay, so I definitely mention them. But, it's just the ups and downs that you have to go through as, like, even like just with the new influencer work and stuff. Have you thought of partnering with just like, let's say, are you in any partnership with any restaurants or brands yet? Is it something that you're trying to look forward to?
It's something I'm trying to look forward to.
Or if you had like a rough idea of like maybe a brand that you'd want to partner with, what kind of brands do you think, like as a food photographer, this would like really make sense if I partnered with these people in what I do like every single day?
Yeah, I have such dreams, or should I say goals, and ambitions.
Goals, yeah.
And ambitions about working with brand X or Y, so that we create this. Actually, this I'm going to do more of that, because I have certain couple of brands
that you're trying to reach out to and
to get some work done. And
because I think some brands would make like even just your work easy and make you focus more on what you actually enjoy doing. Thank you so much. Thank you. What do you think of the portions, Mr. Sannie-san?
it's actually good.
It's good.
It's actually good.
Thank you. Yeah. So we'll do the coffee, fruits, and then we'll go to.
I see this aesthetic you're going with, like it's like a 3-course breakfast. Like start with the tea or coffee, then have the fruits.
You haven't
then
even.
then
you haven't
you
even
head to the big
Imagine we haven't even got to the. If you see the breakfast,
I see what you're trying. I see what you and at
Yeah,
cafe are trying.
let's see what you'll say about this
Yeah.
review. So what were we talking about before the food came? Before the fruit salad came, we were mentioning something to do with like just we had finished about reviews.
Yeah.
And what were we saying? Oh my, how can we just forget? You see, that's how good the presentation is.
Yeah.
It's like
And
Men
also
in Black,
the
they
weather.
just- yeah, and the weather as well.
God, the weather today is shit.
Okay, as a photographer, okay, if I remember what we were talking about, you can always come back to it. As a photographer, okay, like obviously your journey is slightly different. So would you say, even though you were influenced like with your grandparents, your
And
parents,
also,
yeah,
I have the most interesting friends who are also photographers. Like,
I'm talking about me, man.
yeah, you and you and a couple of
Yeah,
interesting, good photographers from Roots of Africa to Irungu to Mohabib to Mutwa Madheka, Peter Size 10, Mentalists, and let me not miss to say these two amazing food photographers in Nairobi.
yeah.
Mama Olive, known as Tatiana Karanja,
Oh, Tatiana is my good friend.
and Jay Mwai.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
if I hadn't met Jay Mwai when I was trying to find my bearing, I would have never thought of taking on food photography as a full-time. As a full-time
Full-time job.
job.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing at what she does.
What about her is special?
Jimoi is such an amazing lady. I knew as a friend first,
Yeah.
before the title photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's important. Knowing
It is.
someone
It is.
as a human being first, because before adding the titles, the doctors, the
Yeah.
photographers.
Yeah.
And when I saw her work at first, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, she's doing something that's.
Oh, she has amazing food photography.
I was like, she's doing something that I've always wanted to do.
Mm.
I hope she won't feel like I'm trying to
Oh yeah.
compete with her.
Yeah. Because that's one of the hardships, like in the
Yeah.
industry. If you try and ask somebody, they might feel like, hey, now you're going to you want to
you want to
start
take
getting.
over my job.
Yeah.
And the market is so big
So
to
big.
accommodate all of us.
All of us, everybody gets to eat. There's so
Yeah.
much money for us to make out here.
And as much as I'd want to say Mutwa Madheka,
Muto is a legend. Let's just start with that.
made me focus,
Mm-hmm.
but also JMY and Tatiana Karanja. I give props to them.
Tatiana, you hear that?
I give
Tatiana,
I-
JMY,
oh my god.
big shout out to them.
And they also challenged me because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
Why is it that they're the only females doing
Yeah,
it? No, man.
yeah.
I was like, okay, now I want to be the man who does this.
Oh wait, is there any other guy who's doing food photography?
Yeah, there are a couple of
There are a
guys,
couple now,
yeah.
eh? Oh, okay, so. But, okay,
But
of course,
it's
I can say like.
more of. Actually, I don't want to say something that people will come after me online. First of all, I don't like going back and forth with guys online. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm just that guy who's
Oh, you have to be
always.
careful not to step into people's.
Yeah, I'm I'm that guy who's always
Oh
on,
yeah.
on tweets and comments.
I know what you're talking about. But you know what I've come to realize is like um the problem, the setback that we're having like as men right now in Nairobi is like just in general not sharing information. You see, that's like a very big hurdle that we need to like just I think overcome or jump across, because it's just people are not ready to share their knowledge, their skills, and just inspire or
Can I
influence other
counter
people.
that?
Yeah, counter it, please.
Men do share
Mm-hmm.
information
But
and teach and educate.
they do?
Yes, they do.
Who? Me, nobody taught me shit when I was trying to nini.
What?
I had to go to YouTube. All the people that I was looking up to, all these people who do like nice music videos, nice ninis, I kept on asking them, can I come on your set, try this and that.
Now,
Even where I was working, I begged them to like, oh, can I come and just see how you guys shooting
now
commercials?
it's those guys, because photographers do share knowledge. I've learned as much as I learned so much on YouTube. I learned so much from my fellow photographers.
Okay, that's interesting.
They share knowledge. I think it's sometimes how you reach out to someone.
Come on, my people skills are on point, Sannie. What do you mean? I talk to everyone.
But does that cut across to everyone who... Not everyone knows how to reach out and ask
Okay.
for help.
Yeah, true. But seriously, me,
Okay.
if you just
In your
even go
case-
like back in history, like just look at my like how I talk to people.
In your case, it's not you. I think it's the people.
Yeah, it's not just me. It's
Yeah.
many other people who've tried to reach out to them. They never got like,
Because till date, I see how photographers engage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have these meetups and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're no longer that many as before, but they do share knowledge. They give
still,
tips.
They still do.
They recommend guys like, shooting in Nairobi is a problem, but there's always this place you can go and shoot without the police being.
Oh
on the
yeah.
neck.
Plus, you even have an association. It's very
Yeah,
different for
yeah.
photographers. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense because even for me, reaching out to Luto as a photographer, I'm a videographer, and he was ready to. There is no video director who's going to come to my podcast. They won't. Yes, because they're all assholes. All assholes. They won't. From people who do commercials and like I know so many people, art directors who are like just directing. We are friends, but they can never like just give you like a minute to share. And I came to realize that you can always make time. If somebody wants to make like just 5 minutes of their
yes,
time to
yes.
share this and that, they can do that. But
Yeah.
just most of them like, which is also not bad. So that leaves us for YouTube and everything else, which we can still learn.
Yes.
Because you can't force people to. And that's why like even for my podcast, I try and just extract information. You see, I'm asking you about this and this, so that if somebody's watching, they can be like, hey, okay, sir, kumbe if I'm doing food photography, I can do A, B, C, and D. And
Also
just
feel
avoid.
like the people you surround yourself with
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
The days I post something and I'm like, fuck, this image is the my friend messages me and it's like, the color apo, your edit apo, like you can like I've seen you better work than this.
Or you can do better than this.
You can do better than this, or maybe your image composition wasn't well, or this. They give good criticism.
Okay, interesting. That I never get from videographers. Now let's move from
Plus,
that.
food is always a good conversation starter.
That's what I'm saying. Food, you can never go wrong with food because there's just something about food and interaction, just in general. Like if you think about it, when you're at home, when you've taken somebody out, whether it's just friends having like if it's nyama choma and beer, food brings people like just together.
Yes.
It brings people together. If you go in a foreign country, what will bring you together?
Food.
Everybody has to eat every single day to survive.
Yeah.
So anybody can always relate to food. For me, I think just with the podcast and mixing it with food, that's the one thing that actually has been like a special thing that I can say. And I'm just proud to at least say that that's a good conversation starter. And even now that you've mentioned Tatiana is coming to the podcast.
What?
Yes. Mama Olive, she has to come because, I mean, we've been good friends. And now that you've mentioned like she was influential in what you're, like even just you finding your lane, definitely have to have her on the podcast. And what's her name as well? Jemwai. Yeah, I'll also try and get her to the... So even talk to her. We don't talk much, but Tatiana is my friend. But so her, definitely. That's just guarantee. Maybe even next week.
I'm looking forward to that.
So we've talked a lot about just the ins and outs of photography, specifically food photography. I don't want to leave anything behind. But I asked you about the people who like inspire you right now, or you've noticed like are really doing it. It can be in an international setting, or just people that you...
Dennis Prescott, Peter McKinnon.
Oh, Prescott is... he was in Kenya, I think.
Yeah, actually.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I have a photo of them. I always...
come on.
On my down days, I
look at the picture.
I look at the photo and I'm like, this
but
motivates me to...
So him, Peter
McKinnon. Also Mutu Madheka. So when he posts photos of food, I'm like, shit, Mutua, you're coming after my work.
Did you see the picture he posted when I was having like a podcast with him?
Yeah, I was like,
everybody,
Mutua, Jamini.
People are asking me like, did he plan that? What camera did he use? Imagine he said like, don't move anything, because I was just undoing the set, but don't move anything. He just took his phone, took 1, 2, 3 pictures, and I was like, come on. So that's just a picture. When I saw the picture online, I was like, hey. Now I was like, now I understand. Like he has just that eye. He has the eye, composition, storytelling, all those 2 little things you're talking about. He has it.
Dennis Prescott, Peter McKinnon, Mutu Madheka, Jemwai, Tatiana Karanja, Sonny Saidam.
Sonny. Even Sonny is coming to the podcast.
Mulunda, Jason Tekapik. Peter Size 10, The Mentalist. See. There's this blogger called A Foodies Collective.
Wait. Is it? I think. Who is it?
She's called Lucy.
I think I know her, but now it's just because she doesn't put her face on the Nini. That's okay. Yeah, but I know her.
And
it's a huge community.
It's
basically.
A huge community. And am I allowed to be biased?
You are.
My close friends. Solo, Irungo, Mohabig.
It's not being biased. It's just people like actually who like at least give you that drive and make you.
And let's not forget the late Anthony Bourdain.
Oh yeah.
Gordon Ramsay. There's so many.
There's so many.
Sean Evans.
Hot wings. Hot wings. Hot ones. Fast we feast. Yeah. So that, of course, that's one of my favorite shows. Because to me, like just seeing rappers and entertainers in that platform. I started loving Wings after watching that show.
I let me not mention Miss Mandy.
Yeah. You work with her, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Maybe she should come to the podcast as well.
Yeah. I don't think I've missed out anyone.
That's about it, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about everything to do with food, photography. Now we're about to go to a very interesting segment where that keeps people like on their toes. They're like, but we have to talk about it because my podcast is all about balance in life. Not just about you waking up, but you doing your hobby, nini. It's about the 4 pillars of life. So, you know the 4 pillars of life? You don't?
Actually, I think I do in Ilian
Sawa. Health, wealth, love, and happiness. Because, Kwanzaa, first of all, happiness is so important because as creatives, I keep telling my clients this. I will not let you stress me out. Nowadays, I can't deal with stress. Because all I have as a creative is my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with happiness, the older you grow, the more conscious you are about your happiness.
Yeah.
And you take it serious.
You take it so serious. Like anybody who's even like slightly toxic for me, you're like,
no.
It's just because you might be a good, but that back and forth, I just don't want it. I just want peace of mind. That's so important to me. Sir, but now main subject we're about to go to.
Health.
Very interesting. Health wapi. Health tutaiweka like just like the last kidogo.
No, but
we're going out to no, it's very actually health is very important.
When we're
Not
talking
that we're
about
skipping
food.
it, but I'm just saying like, do you go to the gym? Let's start with that.
No, I wake up.
No, like the health topic already. We
Sawa,
have to throw it out of the window.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But like, do you follow like a specific diet? Let's start with that.
I just try and have balance.
We balance your grains, balance your
work.
See, we've already finished your topic when it comes to this.
No, we have to talk about it.
But I'll tell you why. Because why I'm telling you, like the podcast, it's so interesting because like a lot of like even the women entrepreneurs that I've brought in, like they have like this specific pattern. I wake up at 5, I meditate, and then I go to the gym, and then I come back home, and I'm like,
No, listen.
yeah.
Look at my body. Why am I going to the gym today? I'm trying to gain.
No, there are meal planners. Like now they teach you how to gain, but in a healthy way. Yeah. I'll introduce you to that one of them. I'll introduce you to one of them. But basically, you see, we've already finished the health topic. That's done.
Okay.
So are you ready for the next?
Yeah, I am.
So, the next topic is also very important because I think it's also just proper. Like, what's your current situation now? The next topic is now love. Love, we all need some love, no? But relax, hold on. In this podcast, we have to talk about, like, just people want to connect to all these, like, really different things. So, for the longest time, I've known, like, Sannie, he's always been in a relationship.
What do you mean
Ever since I knew you, you've always been... Yeah, don't choke on the food. Don't choke on the food, my friend.
You knew me when I was in a relationship, but...
That's how many years?
That was way back even before you got into the podcast.
Every time.
No.
For like over maybe over 5 or 6 years.
I know you're trying to put me on
No,
the spot.
Relax. I haven't even asked any question. I was just making a statement like, ever since I knew you, you've always been like in a relationship, a believer in love, courtship. I've always known you to be like, because I know, like, I have friends who, like, I know, like, them, I've always just known them, like, to be in, like, in a situation with this person and stuff. what's like your situation with love right now? Are you still with your girlfriend? Are you guys together?
I know.
What?
Yeah.
It hasn't been over 5 years.
You know we parted ways.
How am I supposed to know,
Yeah,
Sannie san?
I bumped into you and I told you about it.
You did not tell
you
me.
asked me. You told me, oh, can't say it to
Listen.
to my mind. I was like, we parted ways. And then I think
No, I actually thought you were joking.
Okay.
I thought you were joking
So-
because I'll tell you why. Because prior to that, when I met you before that last time when you said that, so you guys were still together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, but that's been over 5 years.
Wow. So
how can you even survive without a girlfriend if you've
long
already
story
stayed?
short, I was in a relationship for the longest time, and we cordially parted ways.
Okay.
And I've been anime chilled since then.
You're happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. I know my worth. A black king.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm not going to settle for less.
So have you, so coming out of a relationship, you know, like here's the funny thing. Like even the questions I had written down were questions about a relationship. So before we even started, I was like, oh my God, now do I have to change all these questions?
No, listen,
But
let me just put this out there.
yeah.
Do you know, for the longest time, there were people who thought I was a chick because they'd never seen my face on the interwebs. I never used to post photos of myself.
Yeah.
So there's a part of my audience that thought I'm a chick.
Because plus now the food. See, that's what I'm telling you.
Because
Like
I only post
food, yeah. So they're like a guy. There's no way a guy can.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait. How have we moved from the subject of relationship
let's
now
go
and,
back.
and going back to Nini?
That was a side talk.
Oh, okay, so so now, how is it like? What's the difference? What's the biggest difference you've noticed, like from when you are in a relationship and now that you're single? And how does that like just even play in what you do for a living? Now we have to talk about it because, you know, relationships are also very important.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I'll tell you why. Because funny thing is, like, all the guys that I've featured, like, are in a situation like, no, I'm in a relationship. And you know why? In fact, the first person I brought was Mutua Madeka, and he's like very family oriented. You see, he has a wife, he has kids. So that was like a really good example for a first person. And so now even like today when I was coming, I was like, and even Sannie san, this is perfect because this is somebody who can like instill values of in a relationship, and here you are ruining everything.
No,
you've ruined like the whole podcast.
Actually, I'm the right person for this episode. From coming from the family setup to now the bachelor. I speak on behalf of the bachelors. I represent them. This is their segment now.
So, what's the difference? What have you noticed like that's different now that when I wake up, this is what I do? Because it has to be different. Sannie. Were you guys staying together?
No.
Oh, you're staying separate. Yeah. Okay, so okay. But what's the difference?
So
being single now and
you don't have to wake up to text someone good morning, and you don't have to say good night to someone.
Or those ones of like maybe in the morning at you didn't even tell me good night.
Good morning, babe. Good night, babe. Like those small things, but I don't know if when in a relationship, chicks the women better not come after me for saying
it's because you have to just it's your point
as a man
when
you're in a relationship, they come after you, but when you're not, they don't.
Okay. So are you saying you cheated? That's what you is that where you hit?
No.
Oh, where is that going?
When I was in a relationship, they kept coming. Then after that, they all.
No, listen, that's always just like a wild theory that people keep saying. Because trust me, they are there. They're not going anywhere. Like right now, as long as you just try and pay attention kidogo and look around properly, that's just like a mindset thing that people keep saying. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I notice like it's cause you're with one person every single day.
Yeah.
So it just probably means that, oh my God, I was pinching at you. So I'm just saying that, okay, I've even forgotten what I was saying. What was I saying?
Them coming when you are.
Oh yeah, because I think when you start saying that, you start noticing like there's so many chicks who come around you when you're with your girlfriend, it just means you're getting bored with your girlfriend. Because these women, they have always been there. No, true. Those are actual facts, because these women have always been there. I've been single for the longest time. I can't say there's one weekend I can wake up and say like women are not there. They are there. They are there. They're there. All you need to do is send a message in a DM or call someone. But they are there, son.
So
But just go to your Instagram right now and you'll say they are not available. They are there.
they're not. Okay. Back to what you're talking about.
Back to how you cheated on your girlfriend.
So yeah,
So what made you cheat?
I didn't cheat.
Okay.
We parted ways.
Okay, sorry. So you're saying something.
I don't have to wake up good morning to someone, good night to someone. The small things in a relationship that are those small things that you no longer do anymore. Now I have more time to myself. More focused to myself. Like right now it's me. Maybe family and friends.
Yeah. I think it can be draining.
Not really. Actually enjoy it.
You did enjoy it.
Right now, like I enjoy it more than ever.
Oh, no. I'm saying like being in a relationship, it can be draining.
Yeah, I think it depends on your partner and and the foundations of how you guys have laid the relationship.
What are you saying? Are you saying you chose the wrong partner?
No,
For 5 years.
just in 5 years.
It's 5. Count. It's 5 or
Okay.
more than 5.
Yeah, actually it is 5.
Yeah.
I didn't choose the wrong partner.
I'm not that good at math, but I can actually like just do like quick math, like pam pam pam. Yeah. Simpaka, he's just speechless.
I know.
Yeah.
I did.
So like, okay, what was hard? Because I'm just guessing from what I thought. Like this is like definitely the person that you're planning to settle with. But what kind of like difficulties did you have until you said like, okay, sir, because maybe she was a creative as well?
No.
Okay. Oh, then you are creative. Now you see,
So
it can be tricky.
So yeah,
It can be tricky.
that I feel
Not
like
unless they really understand
yeah, I
you.
feel like that was what was training us. Like,
Ah,
two completely different careers, different lifestyles.
it can work out, but they have to be understanding. Okay, maybe, and let's say maybe you're shooting with like a lot of like female clients and Kwanza, especially when it comes to food, you'll always be surrounded with women.
Exactly.
First of all, that's just a fact.
So that there were my path was creating too much strain
How?
on the relationship.
How?
Being around women, chefs, waiters, the audience.
Was there a bit of jealousy there? Or maybe just two small arguments about how is she giving you this compliment?
And
I remember. Okay, just
and we
before
were young.
Mhm.
And we
Come
were
on.
young.
No, I think people just use that young thing. In the States, if you're 16 or 17, you're an adult. It's just us here in Kenya, like somebody just wants to keep calling themselves youth.
Because we didn't know how to handle the situation and how to handle things.
Yeah.
That with time, things started spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
And we were just like, instead of things getting worse,
This is not healthy.
this is not healthy. Let's just part ways.
That's me. I thought you guys were going to get married and stuff. I was ready for that. Because here's the thing. Stop looking at me like that. Last year, was it last year? Is a time we met, like
I bumped into you last year.
But you guys were together.
No, you were not.
Okay, not early last year.
That's when I bumped into you and I told you like, hey, yeah,
I could not take you seriously because I always know you've always. And then you know how couples are. This week they've broken up. After 2 weeks, now we worked things out. Nini.
No.
But I'm saying, you see the way you've talked about how just working with now like female clients, audience and everything.
Yeah.
I remember like 2 weeks ago, because me, I'm always dating. On and off. That's the best thing about being single. You date whoever you want to date. If it's not working out, phew. So there's this
What do you
person.
mean?
You should just forget about them. You can dispose someone. Yes, that's the best thing about being
These
single.
women are trash, first of all.
Who? You've said women are trash.
I said men.
Oh, you haven't
Don't
said,
make
you
the
didn't say-
women come after me. I said men.
Men
because
are trash.
you just don't.
Now I'll tell you what happened. No, I'm open about, because if you see my podcast and video, I normally get the fortunate bit is like
Pause.
I always
Can use the washroom.
yeah. So we had to take a small break. I think it touched a nerve somewhere, and then this guy had to go and cry in the bathroom kidogo, but he's good to go now. So we're going back to where our topic was, and I was telling you about how, like, I think 2 weeks ago, he had just said like how Kenyan women are trash, but I was telling him,
said men.
but you said men or women?
I said men.
You didn't say women are
No.
trash. Sour.
Please.
Sour. So anyway,
When they come after me, I'll come after you.
relax. So I was telling you that, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had something going on with someone, and then they asked me a question, like, because we were arguing like on the phone. Because I was telling I'm busy. I have to shoot this podcast today. I have to go edit this, and I'm doing everything alone. So I have very limited time. I can only see you on this day.
You actually have time. You're just not prioritizing.
Of course, they're not a priority.
What do you mean they're not a priority?
They are not. Nobody can be a priority from what I'm doing right now. Like the podcast, this is my priority.
Listen, at the end of the day, when all this, we pack all these gears, put them in the bag, you are not a photographer. You are a human being.
And I have more DMs pending, just waiting.
So
I can pick one and respond to one.
what?
Yeah. That's the best thing about being single. You get to choose. You're not cheating on anyone.
No, listen, it's one thing to be single, and it's another thing to be an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole.
Also, being an asshole is relative.
Of course.
So I just feel like when you're single, be single.
Don't see anyone. What are you talking about? That's
Yeah.
not the joy of being single.
What?
The joy of being single is seeing many people.
The joy of being single is being you, being yourself, being alone.
Alone.
Yeah, spending time alone.
I'm not spending any time alone.
So you can go on a date alone.
That's not happening with me. I don't even know how to just go out somewhere alone and just stay,
Just zone out.
and go back home just alone.
Yeah.
That's strange. I don't know how people do that. How does that work? Is that what you're doing like right now? Is that like the transition in?
The transition, but now I've already.
Because it's very different. I'm sure like being with someone for a very long time and then now you're stepping back to like a lifestyle that where you're like it's just focusing on you. It's very different from.
Yeah, it is, but I think it gives you time to work on yourself, work on your mistakes, work on being a better.
What mistakes are you talking about?
Work on being a better human being. The mistakes I'm talking about, we meant sometimes we make the obvious mistakes in relationships. We cheat, we are abusive.
I knew it.
Mentally,
I knew it.
physically, emotionally, and to top it all, we are human beings. We are bound to make mistakes. In one or another, we are bound to make mistakes. I feel like when we part ways with people, sometimes we never take blame. We always so quick to point to the person like, yeah, he did this or she did this. But sometimes it's okay to admit like, yeah, I'm part of this blame.
So are you the one who made the mistake?
I think both of us did.
It can't be both of you.
Yes, it is.
It can't be. That makes no sense. It's okay, if you break up with someone nowadays, it's either because you cheated, two, because I think like right now the climate is just like, first of all, cheating is just rampant, like with people that I know who are in relationships and even marriages. That's like super common. Second, maybe what now? Maybe second might be maybe if it's cultural differences, that's always appear very high because nowadays we have like so many like interactions just between like like how like just normal Kenyan guys dating like Somali women, can be like Indian, like it. That's where like maybe another strain that might be. But apart from that, apart from cheating or that, I don't see any other like strong reason that somebody might say is.
Someone once told me the same way you fall in love with someone, the same way you can fall out of love with someone, and it's perfectly okay to fall out of love with someone.
Still don't know what you're talking about, but
hey, I come from a divorced family, first of all. And seeing my mom single for the longest time and happy made me realize that sometimes you have to let someone go for
True.
them to be
I
happy
also
and
come
at
from a
peace.
divorced family.
And to be
So I
at
know.
peace with themselves.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
appear you as a human being to work on yourself and your mistakes.
But I'll tell you why that's different, and that's why like I'm saying like even for me I can relate to that because even for me like my mom is like single, like they parted ways. It's a completely different story once like you bring kids to the picture. That's a whole different shit show, my friend. Because people go mad. That's why I like see people jumping off buildings and in. Once the kids are in the picture, now it's like even if you don't like each other, like you're forced to be together because like these are our kids, Plus it's not working out.
There's some parents
It's very tricky.
There's some parents who don't want anything to do with this. The kids.
True.
And as a partner, what will you do? You'll start forcing them to liking their kids.
Just pay child support. You're good. Child support and.
Man,
but it's very common nowadays, like the way you're saying, like you'll find so many people got in that situation and they don't like each other completely. They don't even want to see each other.
I'm not a love expert or anything, but
I thought you were. After 5 years, should be writing a book. 5 years. Even my friends who are married and got divorced didn't last for 5 years like you lasted in your relationship. So you can call yourself an expert.
Not really. I think I just
But do you think you'll be jumping into a relationship anytime soon, ama you're like, okay, now I have to take a break and just chill kwanza, just not rush into anything?
I've been
Because there are those people who've always like from
I've
one
been
relationship.
single for a long period of time now, and
Over 1 year.
yeah,
And
I'm a human being. I'll interact with people. I like someone. I'll dislike someone.
are you sleeping around?
No,
They say no.
no. I'm very. No.
It's okay to do so that you get it out of your system.
I already did.
Also, when you were cheating, or
After, like
after,
yeah.
after, like maybe you're like, okay, let me nini, and then
broken. I needed to heal.
Oh,
So I had
okay. So you got it out of your system.
Yeah, it's already out of my system. Right now, I like someone and actually said it to them. Actually, they asked
They
me.
know.
Like, no, yeah, they know. I was actually cornered, and she asked me like, so.
Apana, that thing of being
Apa.
cornered is not good.
No, I can't say cornered because
You've already said that word.
Okay,
It means
fine.
like you're put in a situation where you ask, okay, like, Sawa, do you like me or not?
no.
If somebody
So this
gives
is
you
what
that
happened.
ultimatum,
We had gone on several dates. Then she just asked me like, so what's the deal here?
what's happening?
What's happening here?
What are we?
What? Yeah. What are we? What are you?
Good friends.
What? So I just came clean and I was like, yeah, like you. Yeah, I like you to talk. But it's
Does it feel strange when you're doing that with somebody who's different from what you are like really used to?
yeah. At first it is, but you get used to it because like you spend time with them, you see a different version of them
Yeah.
that you're not used to.
Yeah, like this is someone completely different.
Yeah, and you start lowering your guard
Oh,
and
yeah.
letting them in,
Yeah.
and you start being
Lovey-dovey.
yeah.
You start sending those good night messages again.
Yeah, and send and attaching an emoji to it, and the kissy emojis. Yeah. Then you also have to be very cautious not to overdo it and scare them away or mess something that's good. Yeah.
But you're taking it super slow now. You're
Yeah,
not in
I'm
a-
taking it super slow. I want it to be as genuine as possible. If it doesn't work, fine. Yeah, you
So-
tried. It didn't work, and you move on past that.
I just don't know about relationships. If I ever get to that point, sour. But it's just not my thing.
It's
Just not
it's
my
not
thing.
everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Just that kako thing, like you have to be like in sync and in. See, I was telling you about how I was seeing someone and then they asked me like, because I'm so busy, I'm always posting calendar, trying, because if you're working freelance, you're your own boss.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can't be taking days off, like today I'm off, kesho I'm off, because how do you pay bills? How do you establish your brand? How do you actually just be successful if you're always like taking time out all the time? So they asked me like, what's more important to you, me or your work? Hey, I laughed at them so badly. And then I blocked them. Yes. What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that?
First of all,
Yeah.
the views shared by John. John doesn't reflect on all men.
On all men.
Please, audience.
No,
We're different. Not all men think that way.
I'll just
There's
tell
some
you.
good men out there.
They're
There's
there.
some good ladies out there.
They're there. But I'll tell you what, we all know how the climate is in Nairobi right now. If you just
No,
go
we can't
like,
say that. We
listen.
can't say that.
I'll tell you why. If you're flat broke in this city, you're not dating any girl.
You can't
Who?
say that.
Who are you going to date if you're flat broke in this
Okay, listen.
city?
Even broke is relative.
No, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, if you can't, broke doesn't mean like at completely. I'm just saying, like, you know, the little things, like maybe a girl wants to go out. You're like, okay, today I don't have money. Tomorrow she wants this. You're
But
like, no, I
people-
can't do this for
But
you.
people are different.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who take that in and they're like, you may be broke today, but not tomorrow.
In Nairobi.
And they cling on to you with the hope that things will get better.
In Nairobi?
Yes, they are. They are.
They're there?
Maybe there are that many.
Where?
but yeah, they
Show
are.
me. Please send some references on my DM, and I can actually
No.
start appreciating.
For you first, I think we need to. Any counselors out there who can help?
Get in touch with
Get
like,
in
my
touch.
more emotional and love side.
Don't DM, email.
Yes, please. I might need some help. Please. I've lost hope in that sector. But yeah, life is a very tricky thing, and I think like even like we are saying, like as you grow older, you just need positive people around you. You see, you need people who like can just like because for me by the it's just like just love, affection, some respect kidogo. That's all I need. Like that's all I need. But it can be so hard, especially like in the creative industry. Like look at my Instagram. You'll see women every single day.
But
every single
also,
day.
I
Yeah.
think there's something good that's going around with women. The whole women empowerment. Women now know their rights more than ever, and also men need. I think men downplay so much of the emotions and mask so much that they don't know how we are human beings. It's okay for us to express emotions.
But like saying I love. Yeah. I love all women.
That, like,
It's not hard for me to say
if
like I love
even
women.
your
I love
feelings,
Mhm.
you talk about it. Like men, I feel like men don't play it a lot. Like it's something that's serious.
Mhm.
We
A lot of people don't like talking about even like just maybe friends like
Yeah.
when men are together
Yeah.
like do you really love your girlfriend? I don't think people have those
I
conversations.
feel like we don't check our emotions, or it's not. We don't prioritize our emotions enough. The way we prioritize other
Every other thing, yeah. Like hustle and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah.
So you're saying men should be more emotional. Cry once in a
No.
while, nini.
Like it's totally okay.
Cry, hug a pillow, cry.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Go for walks. Meditate. Talk to other men about it.
No, I can't do that, man. We can't do that. We can't do that.
Masculinity.
We can't do that as men. We have to be like the strong. I know a lot of
Yeah, we
even
have to
women
be
keep
strong.
saying that, but we have. At the end of the day, we have to be men as well.
But sometimes it's okay for us to admit that.
We're going through something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
Speak
That's true.
about it.
That's true. And that's why like the podcast for me, I think it's so important because to ask those two questions and stuff. I remember, because I'm saying I've had like few men who guests, but a lot of them just shared like about their dating experience and stuff. Last week, I interviewed Sam. Now he's a good friend of mine. He's like on a wheelchair. And he was saying like, you can only imagine his dating experience is completely different.
Yes.
Different. Because he's saying like even when he approaches someone, he has to like put into consideration, give them like just a minute or two to absorb that they're actually on a wheelchair. So it's very, very different. The tour is very family oriented and stuff. So you pick a lot on all these people. And here we have Sannie who's just come from a relationship. And yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you see, all these people have different paths,
Yes.
but it's all in just like pursuit of love and many. Like at the end of the day, it's just like towards the intention of like just trying to find love. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody wants to grow old alone.
There's some people who do.
Alone.
Just
And
listen.
me, I can't survive
Listen.
alone. I don't think so.
I feel like love is a very complex thing. Just the way it works for some people, it doesn't work for some people.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm
Just
saying
the way some people get married, look forward to married, same way some people don't look forward to getting married at all.
Do you see yourself being at the altar saying, yes, I do, through thickness and in hell?
For the sake, I know one of my family members will see this video, or my friends. For their sake, I know they want to show up at my wedding.
Yeah.
So maybe,
Maybe.
I don't know. Like, I'm enjoying this space.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this space. I wish it lasts forever. But also, I just told someone I like them. It can yield to something, and I don't want to.
I hope by the time they see this video, you'll still at least try and be together. I know the hardest part is for you, but I hope you'll try until this episode comes out to be together with them, so that they can see this and appreciate it more. So that's very interesting. I think we've just talked about quite a lot. It's just that maybe I don't want to push it to like just too much, because we can always do another segment of the podcast, and I can see we are close to like just that 1 hour mark. And also have to release you to go and do like your day-to-days and stuff. We need to provide for our women, so we have to work, we have to grind. So with that being said, just before we wrap up, I normally ask people just at the end of the podcast, what's the one thing that you think right now that if you actually found it, if you're fortunate enough to find it or get it right now, it would give you like a sense of balance and like some just peace of mind, or it will just give you happiness? What's that one thing that you think, if I get it right now, I think I'd be able to look at life differently?
I think that's a very straightforward question.
It's a straightforward? Yeah.
And the one thing I think as human beings we work towards is financial stability. So I think,
that's the one thing you think, it would make work easier.
It will
relieve a bit of stress.
It will. I'll feed my people.
You can date a lot of women at the same
and
time.
Educate a lot of people. So
true. So financial stability. Okay. So I think we've touched like on everything that was like on my notes. We've touched on it, and let's just say,
what about health? There's
to you health, it's clearly, you just said like, look at me. It's not like even a priority. You just said like, but I know what
it's
but do you do anything? Like, do you go out of it?
It's a 50-50 thing. I try and do 7 to 10K a day walk. That way I keep my body in check. I try and be in the correct state of mind for me to function well as a human being, as a creative.
When you get stressed, like, because we're also talking about like, okay, just mental stability and stuff, because that's important. When you're just stressed as a creative, like, what do you do? There's some people like just drink. There's some people who smoke weed. There's some people.
When I get stressed, is the one time.
How do you cope?
I totally keep the camera and everything away and just chill. wake up, just have breakfast, sit at home, and just the sun, go for walks, hang around, surround myself with positive energy.
Positive things.
Read magazines, watch a lot of movies.
Just movies help me as well.
And just try and do something new.
Another very important thing before I forget as well, since we're on that subject, like does social media ever get to you? Do you at times like see other people's achievements and then you're like, wow, this person is doing so well, like maybe I need to... Does that ever get to you?
I will say this.
Yeah.
Comparison can bring a strong-minded person down to his or her knees.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get lost in your own source.
Yeah. I remember when people were making fun of Kobe Kihara. And for me, I was just looking at it so differently because I was like, you people need to understand, like, for somebody like her who has a morning show, she's pretty, she's getting a good salary, she has all these things. But social media got to her head and she actually started doing things that...
I think we can all agree that at some point social media does that to everyone.
Yeah.
It gets to... I think it's how you grow up and how you consume social media and how you consume the internet.
Because nowadays for me it's like, if I see something good, it has to be a source of inspiration. I can't look at somebody and say like, how does this person have this and this? But once I was able to like switch my mind back and forth and looking at someone like, this person is doing well, they have this company, they have the... Plus, I look at it as inspiration.
Plus,
not like I envy them.
I usually say this to myself every day. I don't want to compare myself to anyone.
Yeah.
We are all in this journey in life. Everyone has a different path. We all have different goals and achievements and titles, and right now, and people use, like, most people will only see their highs on social media.
They won't highlight the lows.
Yeah. So we don't get a clear image
about who this person is.
And what they go through and how they deal with stuff. The few who highlight their lows and talk about, we give props to them, because...
And those are the people, like, that's where people get like that connection. You're like, oh shit, kumbe this person, like, no matter how much they look like they're successful and stuff, they're also going through like similar things, like your self-doubt and nini, even though they have all these things going around them. So I think that's also like very, very important.
Growing up, in my family setup, my uncles and my mom used to tell me one thing: you can do anything in this world, you can have everything, but if you lose sense or touch, the fact that you are a human being, you you're just something else. The minute we realize that we are human beings, there are things we have the highs, we have the lows, so much happens, and we learn how to
just
cope and talk with everyone. It makes things easier. It makes communication easy. It makes relating with people easy. It just makes life easy.
Life becomes easier.
And I feel like that's one thing that maybe we never emphasize more.
Yeah. It's highlights. See, that's why Instagram has like the highlight section. We have to consider like all these people like still have their low moments and stuff.
And times are different.
Yeah.
Times are different completely. That's why the younger generation, we see
tricky. They're under so much pressure.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
And some don't know to cope with that. That's why right now right now, if there's a time where mental health needs to be taken serious
And addressed is right
and
now.
addressed is now. We can sit here and talk for hours and hours about food, but we also have to factor in health. We also have to check ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally. It's important. And this, I give this individual prop for what he's doing. Shiv, just Jim it.
Yeah.
I give him props for what he's doing.
Which is
Being from time to time. I love how he incorporates
family,
health,
health,
this,
all these things,
and from time
and
to
includes
time,
everybody, the kid, the mom.
And shout out to these people these individuals who have taken upon themselves to address mental health.
I have to respect that online and just talk about it.
I give props to them because they're raising something that's it's not being addressed. It's not well addressed.
Actually, somebody sent me a message. They want to be featured on the podcast next week. And they said they just want to come and talk about mental health. They said like that's just something they feel strongly that they really need and want to address. And then I was like, by the way, just come, because that's important, and people need to hear that from somebody else's perspective. All these different people, I keep asking them about that. How do you cope with this? How do you cope with this? And everybody has like a different answer. And I think once people see and hear about it, they'll be like, okay, so now I understand. You really need to. And that's why, like, for me, I see the one thing right now that I can't like just entertain around me is somebody who's negative, somebody who likes either gossiping or just saying bad things about people. Like me, I just want my mind to be clear, because there are so many other things that you have to deal with as an entrepreneur and an artist. So the least that should be coming like just in your head is like those two small things that might even just clutter your judgment and thought and just creativity. Nobody needs that. So I think that's also very important. And I think we've talked about everything.
I'm ready for the food now.
So we're about to have breakfast, and he'll give us a review about what he thinks of the breakfast.
Can't wait for the food.
And so any single women, of course, who want to just slide in his DM, pretend like you want a recipe, photography, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Get somebody who can take nice pictures of you, take pictures of your food, grow your brand. Put yourself out there, but just in case people want to get in touch with you and just ask you questions, where can they find you? Online, social media platforms, just give them the plugs.
Instagram, Sannie Sanford. Twitter, Sannie Sanford. Facebook, Sannie Sanford.
Email? For professional
link
work,
in
of course.
bio.
Oh, link in bio. Link in bio, for business or whatever. Just contact him if you need your restaurant reviews, if you need him to check out, test your food and everything. That's the guy. So thank you so much for coming to the show, Sannie-san.
Thank you so much.
Much respect just for you taking your time to come and talk about this. Not a lot of guys want to come to the podcast, so I have to say and thanks at least for balancing that.
Good work on the I've literally seen you from we go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
I know.
So the growth, I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm happy the space you're in right now.
Thank you.
I hope you get the help you need.
I hope the love
someone slides in your DM and helps you find love and true love, getting you the right partner.
I'm hoping for that as well.
Maybe we'll see you one day the misses
Wedding
here
and
on
Nini.
the podcast. And
Talking
also
about
waiting for the
couple
wedding.
goals and Nini.
Exactly.
How will
You
do
going
that?
for trips, them, and we're like, goals.
Couple goals.
Eh.
When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But for now, hey.
And also, someone who cooks for you too. Like, I
No,
hope.
I told somebody this, that I haven't, like, for the past 3 or 4 years, I haven't met or dated anyone who's cooked for me.
What?
Yeah.
Then what's love if you have not tasted your partner's food?
Taste something else.
Nah. You can never compare it to food.
No,
You
yeah,
can
true,
never
true,
compare it to food.
true. But I'm just saying, like, I've just been in those situations. I haven't met anyone who's, like, that's like the thing. Yeah.
All the women have never cooked for you.
So what are you saying about Kenyan women?
And
Do you want to finish that sentence?
no,
Just finish the sentence.
No way.
Kenyan women, huh?
I haven't said that. The views shared by Gentle.
No, but I'm just saying, it hasn't happened. But if it happens, it happens. No
Ladies,
pressure, no
feel
pressure.
free. If you ever want to cook for the Kissing Bandits,
Yeah, please.
link in bio.
Link in bio.
Link
Slide
in
in the
bio.
DM. Slide in the DM.
Send him recipes,
Uh-huh.
quick recipes. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm not allergic to anything. So any food as a bachelor, I'll enjoy it. So thank you so much, Sannie-san.
Asante sana.
It was another nice episode of the Kiss Capids podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our iTunes page, Facebook. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I need more subscribers on my YouTube. And let's just keep growing the channel and let's keep growing the podcast. Thank you so much and see you in another episode.
Bye.
Thanks, bro.